We tried to think of our ultimate adventure. So we bought a car for £150, had it sprayed up by T2 Sugars, the amazing graffiti artist, had our subscribers' names put on the front by Dyson Signs in Sheffield, and went and had the most amazing adventure. Travelling 2,500 miles to Africa. We set off on the road to Dover on the first leg of our journey. Our first stop was Rouen in France. Then it was back in the car, heading south through France to Le Mans, where we took part in a head-to-head challenge, me and Andy racing our little car to see who could be the Le Mans champion. We love taking part in challenges, anything where we get to go head-to-head, especially something that we can tell our grandkids we've done way off into the future when we're grey and old. And this is definitely one of those moments, racing on the Le Mans 24-hour track. Who would have guessed we would have ever done anything like that? Heading down to La Rochelle to do the next challenge, and oh my goodness, it was embarrassing. But we've learnt to roll with it, enjoy our time, join in with everything we possibly can. After a heavy night partying, we woke up on the beach in a tent. Just as we were trying to work out what we were going to do for breakfast, some wonderful French locals invited us in for breakfast. And then we went to look at donkeys. Back on the road again, heading down to Bordeaux, before heading south on our way to Spain. Now, we've been in the car a very, very long time, and I'm well known for going a little bit crazy when the boredom sets in. So I decided to go for a bit of a run in the traffic. When we finally reach the Spanish border, we're welcomed with the most beautiful sunset that looks like fire over a volcano. I end up with this ridiculous picture on my head that I have to keep on for the rest of the night, even in the hotel, which has to be one of my favourites of the whole trip. Sleeping pods in Bilbao, Spain. But we're up and out early once again to see Bilbao in its rainy gloriousness, with its weird sculptures, amazing breakfast. Next up, we're travelling to do one of the next challenges, where I've got to be pulled at 40 miles an hour behind a car on a skateboard. Heading down through Spain towards Madrid with no air conditioning, we finally reach the capital city to get us into the world famous Bernabeu, but it doesn't start off so well. But just as I think my blagging skills are failing, I pull it out of the bag with the security officer, who has clearly fallen for our British charm. We've done it, and we're so pleased with ourselves for our little blagging achievement. And away we go to our accommodation. But there's a problem. We can't get in our accommodation, which means we have to sleep in the car overnight, and we get lost in the process. What a nightmare. This time the destination is Seville, and so hot that Andy decides that for his challenge, he's wearing a dress. Not just any dress, his famous red dress. And for this part of the challenge, I take him out for traditional tapas. New night, new type of accommodation, and this time we're in a youth hostel, sharing a room with 10 sweaty, snoring fellas. Before the shortest, most disturbed sleep I've ever had, before having to set off really early to Gibraltar. However, I'm not complaining because we got to see the most amazing sunrise over the Rock of Gibraltar before our whistle-stop tour up the rock in Gibraltar to see the views, to see the monkeys, obviously a bit of music video in there as well. And then after standing on the edges of cliffs, we made our way back down on the cable car, and it was now a mad rush to get on the ferry that would take us over to Africa. Still really couldn't believe we got that far in a £150 car, and to say we got overexcited about it is an understatement. Thinking we'd come all the way from the UK and we were in Africa was beyond belief. Two best mates together, and you know what? It was one of the best experiences I've ever had, not just on this trip, in general. It was amazing. Because we'd spent such a long time round Tangier, we had to head off late at night to our next stop, an authentic, beautiful Moroccan house with all the things put on for us, like cups of tea and little bits of food. And then we got our apartment that had got a big double bed for me, a single bed for Andy because I always stick him in the smallest room, and then this wonderful eating area. It was fantastic, so good. I would love to go and stay in this place again. And finally we get a lay-in, and look how tired Andy looks. To chill and just have a relaxing time for the first time in days and days. And then it was time to get out and check out Rabat, and this time it was Andy on his BMX. Look at him looking worried because he knows what's coming. He's got some sanitary towels stuck to his head, they're set on fire, and then he's got to stick himself in the water, which a lot of the locals were quite interested to know why. I'm quite interested to know why as well, but it was good fun. We had a good laugh with the locals on this one for the music video. We had a bit of a look round the town, a bit of a mess about in the car, and have a bit of fun. We were feeling really excited, knowing we were on our final day and on the final leg on to Marrakech. Driving down as the sun set again, we knew we had a mad rush on now to get to the market before it closed. And would we make it in time? That was the question. And just as we get into Marrakech, the blagging skills have to come out again, as a local policeman won't let us into the market with the car. So I have to tell him we're there on official filming business, we're supposed to be there, we've got permission, and he lets us through. And I've never been as scared or excited in my life to finally get to Marrakech Market, the place that we had been aiming for all this time. We had an amazing reception from the locals. It was just unbelievable. The atmosphere, the smells, the sights and the sounds, everything I'd hoped for when we set off on this trip, when we planned it months and months ago. And look at Andy go. We are so excited to have made it there.